Hello and welcome to Bergen Stages Television, our entertainment magazine here at Bergen Community College. I'm Jim Bumgardner, your host, and thank you for tuning in today. I have a very special guest to introduce you to in just 1 second, but one thing about him that I haven't told him is he was the one responsible for me even having a job here at Bergen Community College. And thankfully to him, I have not only the job, but able to do this TV show and have a moment to thank him and interview him. So please welcome Ken Bonifants.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
And didn't I make a nice choice?
I think so.
Yeah,
my mom thought so too. So, thanks. So Ken has had a wonderful life in the theater, and it's something that we wanted to talk about before we got into specifics about the production we've just done called Blithe Spirit. So, Ken, how did you ever get involved in theater? What was your background? I know you're a New Orleans boy.
Okay. Now I'm going to go all the way back to my very first play, which was in St. Anne's Grammar School in New Orleans. And the name of the play was Puppy Love. And all I really remember about it was that my girlfriend in the play was named Brenda Ledette, and I had a secret crush on her anyway. So it was a total delight, but I don't remember rave
So for third grade, it didn't have real puppies in it? It actually
Not
had
real
some
puppy,
real
no,
puppy?
it meant
young. Yeah,
you
wow,
know,
yeah. So from third
anyway,
grade, we move forward.
We leap forward to, I really didn't do anything in high school. And actually, I don't think my high school offered the opportunity. But then when I went to college and I was going into my third year as an English major, and one of my friends, I hope it's okay to mention these people's names. They'll get in touch with me.
Yeah, right.
Like
they'll get on Facebook and talk to you. Yeah. Where did you go to college? Where
this was at University of New Orleans. Marilyn Arubarino was going to try out for The Taming of the Shrew and asked me to come watch her. So I went and watched, and as what usually happens in theater, there's not enough guys to read, and so the director asked me to read, and I was like, no. He said, yeah, please read. After the reading, he said, oh, why don't you come back and bring some friends with you? So I did. I went back. I brought a couple of friends with me. I thought, if they come, maybe this will be fun. Well, it was great fun. And not only was the production decent, but at the time, they also started a TV program at school, and they taped the whole thing. So in the future, I hope it's disintegrated by now, but in the future someone may dig up this production of me and that
Taming of the Shrew. Oh,
yes,
nice.
Yeah.
So you were hooked from there?
So, and from there, yeah, then I think the next thing was a summer show, Picnic.
Doing summer stock?
It was
or
at
a show
school.
On camp. Okay.
At school. And I guess I was bitten. I stayed an extra year at school. I only had one more course to take in English, and I delayed taking that course for a whole year.
So you could do more
and I did nothing but theater courses,
nice.
Which was wonderful. It was just wonderful. While doing that last year, the school started offering a master's degree in theater, and I thought, I don't know what else I'm going to do with my life. So I went ahead and took that master's degree. At the end of those 2 years, they started a Master of Fine Arts degree, which was another year.
Wow, okay.
So I did that also. And that took place at Le Petit Theater in New Orleans in the French Quarter. It's the oldest neighborhood theater in the United States. And it was wonderful there. And while there, I met a couple of people who went off to do summer theater all the time. And they talked about it highly and invited, why don't you send in an audio tape of an audition and, et cetera. And I went 14 years later of that same summer theater.
And which theater was it?
This is the Lyceum Theater in Arrow Rock, Missouri.
I know it well.
A town of 82, right in the middle of Missouri, but it attracts from St. Louis and Kansas City. So it pulled a lot of people in. And I'm real grateful for my time there because a lot of the people who came were farmers, very simple people living very simple lives in mid-Missouri. And they came with no preconceived ideas of what they were going to see.
But, yeah, you introduced them to this world that they had no idea what live theater was.
So their reactions were brutally honest. When it was funny, they laughed, and if it wasn't, you knew it. And some experiences that happened there were just kind of, there's more to theater than just performing. It touches people in different ways. Even a silly comedy will hit home sometimes with people. And we did, at one point, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. And afterwards, we would go out onto the patio to meet audience people who wanted to talk with the actors and stuff. And there was a farmer standing way over on the side, big heavy guy with overalls and red in the face and all, and just kind of looking at us. And after the last person was gone, I was left, and he came over to me and he just said, "Ain't never been to a play before. Think I'll come back."
Great. That's great.
Went to the dressing room. Oh my God! You see, so that kind of experience.
That's
of
wonderful.
course,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it wasn't that you were just introducing. It sounds like maybe if you were doing Tennessee Williams for them, and you weren't just giving them the
yeah,
the
it
simple
wasn't just fluff.
Fluff. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you
we
gave them a
did do
different-
fluff.
Sure. Sure. But you slid in some content material
Yeah.
too, which was great.
Yeah. And again, unknowingly, these people, unsophisticated, who was their favorite playwright? Moliere.
Seriously.
Anytime Moliere, we did them all, was being done, they came to Moliere
How
and
fun
they
is that?
whooped it up
That
and
is too
laughed
fun.
and cheered. Yeah.
Now you acted and you directed. You were artistic director.
Started as acting actor, and after a few seasons, I think, there was a slot for something happened. They needed a director, and I had shown interest in that in school, along with a couple of other people in the company who were there. So yeah, I directed there, and then that became a regular thing. And within a few years, because of some change around in leadership, I became artistic director for a few years.
That's right, that too. Yeah.
And all of that was wonderful because it was all both sides of everything. You
And
know.
it's still there. The company is still there.
The
isn't it?
company
Yeah,
is
the
still
Arrow Rock
there,
Lyceum.
thriving,
Yeah. I know. I auditioned for him. I'm not sure if Sean, our cameraman, who was an actor, auditioned for Arrow Rock Lyceum, but yeah, it was quite a
it's
theater
got
to go work with. Great reputation.
Good
Great
reputation.
Yeah.
And when we started, it was there was no equity, no union, no anything. As a matter of fact, it was I think originally when I went, the theater, which was in a church, a former Baptist church, I think had 70 seats or so. And over the years, it just kept growing and growing, and we put an addition on the building, and people kept coming, and then we turned equity, and it was wonderful.
It's a great space.
growth.
It's a great space. It's
Yeah.
It's just I've seen pictures of it. I haven't gone there.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't hire me, but
Yeah. We even went back, I'm going to guess maybe this was about 8-9 years ago. One of the former company members got a bug in their head and said, "Hey, why don't we have a little reunion?"
oh, fun.
And we did. We went back and had a reunion, and you know the old Huxley thing about you can never go home again. It is Huxley. Right? It was amazing. We were all just, my God, this is like Brigadoon or something. It was just like we had never left, and we're all together for that one day. So that was real nice. From there, then I had to grow up.
And moved to New York.
And I wound up moving to New York and tried there.
You came here to be an actor? Was that your, what was your?
Yes. To do theater, I wasn't really sure. Acting was the easiest at the time in. So I pursued acting, I pursued directing, did some workshops here and there and stuff, but ultimately found that it's a difficult life to make a living as an
And let this be a lesson to our student actors that are listening to the show,
it's
is that
true.
it's really a tough career.
One of my first auditions in the paper, it said, I'm reading the casting news, and it says, okay, looking for someone who is 6 feet tall, X number of pounds, with a beard, and at the time I had a beard, reddish hair and beard, and I thought, can always tint. And I had classical experience, so I went and I opened the door, and there must have been 30 guys 6 feet tall with reddish hair and beard. And So a lot of New York is like that. There's incredible amount of talent around.
There is, and there's more than one of you there. I mean, it truly is. You just got to be ready for that competition.
Yes,
Yeah,
and the persistence is what eventually pays off. But in the meanwhile, to kind of make a living, to eat and pay rent, I took a job teaching at the New York Business School, which was for foreign students coming here to learn the American way of business so they could bring it back to their countries. Now, as it turns out, I read in the paper, in the meanwhile I got married, first baby's on the way, the wife
Life
is,
happened.
I think you need to have a job. An advertisement here at BCC for someone to teach foreign students in the English as a second language program, and I came here for the interview, and I remember going home and saying, this was written for me. I was perfect if I don't get this. Well, to make a long story short, I got that, and now I'm teaching in the ESL area, and also able to do theater, which is
great. Now, just to backtrack before you got to that, I know that you did some directing in the city as well.
Yeah.
You actually worked with some actors.
Yeah.
A couple of pieces off Broadway, off Broadway kind of things.
It was off Broadway. All of it was off Broadway.
While you were teaching here, or that was before you?
No,
took
this
the
was
job?
before I came and was teaching here. I don't think the two crossed each other. But what I found out there, and our student actors may think on this, or anybody, like I know you do repertory in the summers.
Sometime, right.
The focus for the New York actors, especially younger people where I was at the time, are looking for careers. So they're searching for agents, representation, and it's about them.
Right.
When we do shows here, or when we do, usually in repertory, you don't have time to think about yourself that much. It becomes about the play, and that was
Which is a
big
wonderful
difference.
focus.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right,
So as a director, it was much more satisfying to do educational theater or theater that didn't depend on actors wanting to forward themselves.
Yeah, just looking for that agent to come pick them up at the show, and
Yeah, and I was in that boat too, so I knew what it was.
you know what they're
for
talking
them.
about. But but this whole academic theater is a whole different side of the world, which is such an enjoyable. And I know, how many shows do you think you've directed since you've been here?
Over 25.
I think so too.
think.
Yeah, at least one a year.
Yeah.
If not within it's incredible. And we're going to take a break in just a minute. And before we do, I just wanted to kind of touch on last semester you had done Pygmalion. The year before that, which was a Shaw piece. The year before that was Mousetrap, which was Agatha Christie. So you're on this British role right now, right?
I thought if I'm privileged to direct again next season, maybe it shouldn't be a British play.
Something with a German accent as opposed to a British
There you
accent
go.
there.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. So it's really fun that you kind of get into this clump there. So let's take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about the production that you've just done, which was Blithe Spirit.
Good.
Just to kind of focus on the work that it took to do this Noel Coward comedy.
Good.
So
Okay.
come right back. We're going to talk more with Kim Bonifons about the production of Blithe Spirit here at Bergen Community College with Bergen Stages. Thank you.
True definition of hero.
And been a hero.
Took a heroic effort.
Every day we bring to our fans the world of sports. We speak of heroes and heroism, but there are days when sports matter little and heroes matter more. These heroes don't hit walk-off homers or buzzer-beating threes. They simply made a plan for what to do when disaster strikes. You never know when you might need to be the hero, because you never know if today is the day before a natural disaster. Prepare, plan, be a hero. Visit ready.gov.
Sit with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book can be the first little thing that helps to change a life. Book people unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Hi, and welcome back to Bergen Stages TV, our entertainment magazine here at Bergen Community College. I have a very special guest with us today, Ken Bonifants, who has been telling us a little bit about his past experiences, but now I'm going to hone in on a past production we've done here at the college called Blithe Spirit. Ken, as I mentioned before, you've been kind of in this groove of doing the British comedies, which kind of hopefully will end now with Noel Coward.
Hopefully, Jim?
Well, I mean, not the directing part of it, but the British invasion for you right now. But what's it been like doing Noel Coward compared to, because you did Pygmalion, which of course was Shaw at the end of the 19th century. And then we had middle 40s with Agatha Christie.
Right.
So is there a comparison between a Noel Coward comedy and doing these others?
Generally speaking, I think the Noel Coward characters are more sophisticated. Probably because Noel Coward was more sophisticated.
Very witty, very sophisticated.
Very witty and in high society.
That champagne humor.
Exactly, exactly. So his writing, his English is a little elevated, I think, and the ideas are, I don't know if I can say they're more elevated than Shaw or, God bless her, Agatha Christie. But it's just a different little slice.
It's great just to take these people that really wrote within 40-year period of each other and how different their styles are, which is really kind of fun to introduce that to our students, our faculty, our staff here when they come see these shows, to have that opportunity to go, wait, didn't I just see this and it was so different?
Like I was so surprised with Agatha Christie. I should have known better. I should have known, but how popular she is. I mean, it's incredible.
And what you find about her is that you remember the show, but you don't remember the outcome.
Yeah.
Like Mousetrap, I knew the show, but I don't remember who did it. So I'll see it again and I go, oh, that's right. I should have remembered that. Right. But looking at the Noel Coward, and there's so many wonderful lines he has. I love his songs. Don't put your daughter on the stage, Mrs. Worthington.
Yes.
And he's just got some great stuff. And I loved putting some of his quotes up on the wall because he's just got that almost like Oscar Wilde had some great quotes.
Yes.
He's just that same kind of
very similar. As a matter of fact, several years ago, I did The Importance of Being Earnest. And an actor who was in that, a student actor who was in that, came to this show to see it and commented on, oh, well, as soon as I heard that, who it was and what the plot was, et cetera, I knew you were going to be directing. I thought, okay, it's time for me to change. You know.
This is Jason Provenzale. Good. A former student here who came back to see this production.
Okay, next year maybe we'll have to do a depression play or something.
Or maybe just something from the 21st century.
Yes.
So working on this Noel Coward piece, Blithe Spirit, can you just give us a little brief synopsis for people that might not know this show?
Now, what I love when they do descriptions of plays, it's always a compressed summary of what
4 lines of what happens in 2 hour half hours.
But what the play is about is
but we have
a couple.
Charles and his wife, his second wife Ruth.
Right, a couple decide to have a séance because he's a writer, and he wants some jargon, some tricks of the trade to include when he's writing his novel. He hopes that the medium he has invited for the evening, who will conduct the seance, he figures that she's probably a fraud, but at least he'll pick up some lingo.
And this is the Madame Arcadi, Danielle Martin played. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So the medium comes for the seance happens, and an outgrowth of the seance is his first wife, his dead wife, returns, and we see her return.
But only
to him.
to him.
He can see her, he can hear her, no one else
And of course,
can.
the audience.
And the audience can see and hear her. So there's lots of humor with that. One person talking to another who's not there, and
And the person
other
thinking that you're
person,
saying,
yeah, thinking that you're responding to them. And part of what I like and enjoy about that section of the play is, here you have this husband with a dead wife on one side and a live wife on the other side. And a lot of what he's hearing is what a lot of husbands hear and a lot of wives say. And so he's caught in the middle here of how to react to these. As the play progresses, and I promise not to ruin the outcome of the play.
Right.
But as the play progresses, the dead wife really would like to be with her husband,
in the afterlife.
and that's the only way she can be with him, is if he is in the afterlife. So she heads out to get him to come to her astral plane. And of course, it doesn't go as she planned.
Correct. Of course, it's no coward, so he
Yes.
has to take us in a whole different direction, and then it really does go off in this new
Yes,
direction.
exactly.
Which is, we don't want to give away too much, so if you've never seen the play, we hope that people will catch a production of it. Angela Lansbury was the median on Broadway just recently, had done it. It's one of these shows that keep getting revived.
Yeah.
It's such a great classic.
And should be.
And it should be
revived.
because there's
yeah.
such it's witty lines and
And you know, we were talking about, and being here at college, a lot of times these old wonderful plays, you just don't see them anymore. Now I think Broadway brings back some plays. Glass Menagerie just ran. And
Yep, it's still running. We had Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, the
Right.
an African-American version of it, so non-traditional.
Right. So a lot of times they're coming back, which is wonderful.
stars
I
want to
think.
come in and do it. They just go, this is great material, I want to come in and do this play.
Yeah.
So it really reintroduces us to it.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but in academia, the world of academia is a perfect place to put it and introduce our students to it.
And of course, the reason our theater is doing this kind of show is because it introduces the students to theater history and what led up to where we are now. And a lot of times where we are now, the shows that are done, if you don't know some of the background of theater, conventions of theater, etc., you won't appreciate the comedy or the drama of what's happening now.
Right. So we need to give them all that, and that's an important part of it.
Yeah.
So getting specific with this production, because I know there's some tricks in it that you don't normally have to face with any other production that you do. So what were some of the challenges of doing Blithe
okay,
Spirit?
so we have a ghost or two, and sometimes, as I said, the audience always can see the ghosts, almost always. But sometimes we have to know that the ghost is there because doors will open or something will move that we can't see them moving. So this added the extra dimension of, in some ways, kind of creating the vision of a person who's not there, just by objects that move.
That move, yeah.
Yeah, so that was challenging, and challenging for the actors too, because you know, just like on screen when an actor is in a horror movie and they're acting with Godzilla or whatever, who may
and it's not
be
there, but you don't.
Yes, and they have to react to blank walls and stuff. it's similar for these
And thankfully, we
kids.
had Michael Lapointe and Dan Conrad working together, a set designer and our prop coordinator, and they kind of created
To
this world of
accomplish,
stuff that
yeah.
could move, and chandeliers that bounced up and down, and pictures
Yeah.
that do all sorts of crazy
And
things.
knocking on wood, so far, I mean,
The
as far
production's
as the
just been,
production
it
went,
really worked.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
worked.
really totally
all
worked.
fell
and that's
together.
that's the
Yeah.
kind of fun. And it was interesting, Jared Saltzman, our lighting designer, also, there's some great moments there that, and I don't know how you do it, but suddenly the ghost is more of in a blue light, where everybody else is in the natural, maybe an amber light. And just
Yeah.
when she's planted in certain places, it just looks like
Yeah.
you can see that second world, and it's just a beautiful
Yeah,
job
he
that
did
he
a
had done
good
with
job.
that.
She had like an aura.
Yeah, a total
about her.
aura about her.
And that was helped with Marie Natali's costumes.
Marie's costumes are just wonderful.
yeah,
yeah.
always wonderful.
She
and
is great, yeah. And it's a great period. What, set in
41.
41, yeah.
Yeah.
So wonderful period in it. And then you also had a lot of sound effects in there that
lot
Patrick
of sound
Ryan, who
effects.
you've worked with Patrick before, who's such a
Yeah, he's
delight to
wonderful.
work with.
And you know, again, when doing plays like this, it's wonderful because you see how important all of those elements are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if the doors don't open magically, the ghost didn't come in, so nothing can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Or if we don't hear the doorbell ring, we don't know there's anybody.
Right.
All of
And there's
everything
music that has to
went with
play.
it.
There's voices
Voices
and
that we
knocking
hear,
and all
yeah.
this kind of stuff happening in real time. So
Yeah.
it's just it's fun to put together. It's so different than what Pygmalion was. This required a lot of that collaboration between all the
Much
artists that
more
that make it
so
all
than-
happen, which is kind
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was working with actors? What were some of the challenges there? I know it's a
Well, you know, we were a 2-year school. So really, after a couple of years, the actors that you've been working with all of a sudden moving
graduated
on,
and
which
moved-
is
yeah,
what
that's
you
what we
want
do.
to have happen. But then there's a whole new group of people. In this play of 7, I think I knew only one of the actors that I cast. And so you're kind of throwing yourself out there and thinking, oh, please, God. And the reward in it, or the rewarding part, is when they surprise you with, there's some performances in that play that just stunned me.
and it's great material that they do, and they
Yeah.
got a hold of it, and I agree. Just seeing
and-
these
and-
performances was just, you know.
Yeah, I don't know
And hopefully we
know
keep
how
these
they
people
did it.
around to do more. I know, but it's having a great director, Ken. I mean, you
well,
really.
that must be the key.
It truly is. I mean, you're an inspiration to them. You don't. The pressure wasn't there. They knew what their job was. They knew what they had to get done. But having a great director with this vision and the patience.
Well, now, wasn't it Noel Coward who said, what makes a great actor is learning your lines and not bumping into the furniture?
And that's all you
So
expected from
that's
them.
all that's
if they
all I
could get
had to
that
do.
done, everything's uphill from there.
That's it.
But it was a tremendous production, and I know our audiences really enjoyed it. And I know that that you had a good time with it. You looked at the material and said, "There's a lot of pages to this thing. There's a lot to learn."
A lot.
And the fact is that you did it in 6 weeks. I mean, we got to school. We started back, and you went right into rehearsals. And
Yeah.
and a huge piece to do so early in the semester with all new talent was commendable to you. And so I just want to congratulate you on
Well,
such a
thanks.
great job.
It's
that you
also
did there.
part of what makes it exciting.
It does.
you
It
know?
does. But your nerves don't know that until opening night.
Oh, no, not until then. That's right.
But it was a great production, and I look forward to more productions that you're going to be doing here at the college. Maybe it'll be British, maybe it won't
Maybe
be
not.
next semester. We'll see. We're now in the midst of beginning to plan our next season there. So
Yeah.
so we really look forward to having you back here at
Good,
Bergen
and
Stages
it's
TV.
wonderful to see the audience members returning, too.
They do. They
Yeah.
love coming back and seeing what we're doing. And
Yeah.
so that tells you, audience members, please come back and see some productions that we do here at Bergen Stages. It's a wonderful opportunity to support our college and to support our students and what they're doing in their academic endeavors here at the college. Ken, I want to thank you again for being our guest today. You're such a delight, and
Pleasure.
I knew you would be. You'd have so many great stories, and I think we only scratched the surface. Thank you all for tuning in, and please come see us at Bergen Stages and tune in again to Bergen Stages TV. Thank you.